So we'll discuss it about onboarding today. So there are three types of onboarding. First is the PVW onboarding that we have seen, that one by one account you can onboard. Second is basically utility called PACLI or PU. PACLI is like PU is basically the password upload utility. Onboard accounts defined in the CSV file. Okay, so you can specify the accounts and its values in the CSV file, and you can start this utility to get the accounts onboarded in CyberArk. So what it requires 1858 connectivity. So whenever, from wherever you are running this utility, you should have 1858 connectivity from that particular machine to the vault. Having said that, you can do it with the you can do it from the either of the component server, because all the components would have the 1858 connectivity, or you can specify or delegate some server which has the 1858 connectivity as well. So this requires 1858 connectivity. This is called PU. The last thing is REST API, which is basically the PowerShell script or maybe any other thing you can use. With the execution of this script, it would require HTTPS port. That is 443. So there is a PowerShell script you can also use. It doesn't require connectivity to the vault. It just requires connectivity to your PVWA. So if you are able to resolve PVWA from any server or from any workstation, you can onboard the accounts through this REST API as well. So we will go ahead with this first of all, PACLI or PEU, wherein we would be specifying the accounts in the CSV file, and then we will onboard it in CyberArk. So as discussed earlier, that required details to onboard an account is mandate details, which are required details. Required details are like account name, address. These are the two required details for any account to onboard. You should know the account name, you should know the address of that. Optional detail is something, the password and the password of that particular account. What is the password? Non-standard port. So let's say if there is a port 33810 which is used for taking the RDP connection of a server, but in some organization they are not using the standard port, they are using some other port for the RDP session because of the security reason. So for that sake, you need to specify that port in the onboarding. Then any agent, what an agent is nothing but for Windows you require RDP client, for Unix you require SSH client, for database you require SQL Management Studio or SQL SMS. For accessing mainframe you require for MySQL you require Toad. Okay, so whatever the client that is needed, you need to specify that as well. Then once you come to CyberArk, you require safe, platform, mandate details, and the optional details. These are all the things that you would require. Let me just open up. Now let's see if I were to onboard an account. I'm saying the normal way, the PVW way, I would call it. So let's say if I were to add any account, what I'll do, I'll go with the add account. It will ask me the safe. I will select safe, my safe for an example. It will ask us the device type. I will select the device type as operating system. Platform name. Let's say if I'm onboarding Unix account, for example, I will select the Unix via SSH platform. The address of that particular server. Let's say this is my address, for example. The name of that particular username. Let's say this is root. And the password of that server, of that particular account. This is the password of that particular account. This is how we are onboarding the accounts in the PVW. Okay. Now let's say if there are hundreds of accounts I need to onboard. So what we will do? So there is a CSV file we would be setting up. So if you closely observe that whatever the things that we have specified while onboarding the account, like safe name we have to specify, platform ID we need to specify, address we need to specify, username we have to specify, and device type we need to specify. The same things I have specified here as well. The safe is there, the policy ID is there, the username is there, the operating system is there. Okay. Now if you see here, this password name, this is nothing but the concatenated value of device type, policy ID, address, and the account name. Okay, This is something just to make an account as a unique identification. So if you see here for the onboarded account, let's say this is the CentOS test is the onboarded account we have done. Okay. So if you see the name of this is device type operating system concatenated by this thing policy name Unix by SSH. One thing I just want to show you is thing policy ID and policy name. They may be same, they may not be same. So here you can see this is the platform name is something like Unix by SSH, but here it is coming as Unix SSH. Why it is so? Because it is coming up with the policy ID. So if I show you here, you can see the platform ID is Unix SSH, but the name is Unix by SSH. So in the CSV file, we will, or in the CSV file or in the onboarding, you will always see the platform ID, not the platform name. So for concatenation, or I would say in the name of that particular account, you would always see the policy ID. So this is the policy ID followed by the address. Had I selected any kind of server name instead, so it should have come up with a server name. Since we have selected IP here, it is concatenated values coming under the IP. Finally, the account name, that is CentOS test. This is the account name. Okay, so here it is doing nothing, but it is basically concatenating all the values for the password name. Password name or account name or object name are one and the same thing. It is just a process to make the account name as a unique name, because if you concatenate 3 values or 4 values, then definitely it will become a unique value. Okay, it has an operating system, it has a platform ID, it could be having a the address, and then finally the name of the account. Then safe here is Linux PU1. Okay, then folder is by default for anything you onboard is root. Whatever you onboard in CyberArk, the folder would be onboarded as root. So this is a default feature. Then this is the address. So it could have been a host name as well. It could have been a FQDN as well. In our case, we're using the IP. So why it can be anything, because whatever the thing which is reachable from your Vault and CPM. Let's say for changing the password, I require 22 port. Okay, and let's say for connecting to this particular server, I also require 22 port, and both of these things are reachable with the host name as well. And it is reachable by the IP as well. Okay, but I will select the host name because it is not easy to memorize the IP, but instead we will simply call it by the host name because it is very simple. Okay, whenever the host name is not reachable from CPM or the PVWA, we will make use of the IP. That's all it is. Okay. Now here you can see something called extra pass 3. What is extra pass 3? Extra pass 3 name is nothing but the reconcile name. Okay, let me do in a normal way first of all, then we will see in the PPU way as well. First we will onboard reconcile account here. So this is added. This is our reconcile account which is added. Okay. Now, as you can see, this would be managing the password for all. So what I'll do, I'll replace the name of our reconcile account. Let me show you manually first of all. Then we will do with the PU way as well. Just let me add it this. So it would require the sudo permissions to change the password of any account which is onboarded in CyberArk. So I'm checking this option. So it can run with admin privileges to change the password. But as of now, it is just a simple account. We need to add it under the wheel group so that it can change the password as well. We will just validate whether this Nix admin is capable of rotating the password or rotating the password or not. So I'll just add a simple account as well called the test Nix, which is having a normal account. And we will just validate whether we are able to rotate the password or not. So we will not be having any password since we have not done any password reset. I'll simply save this thing without any password. So this is having a blank password. So as of now, we don't have any password. What we will do is simply reconcile it with the next admin. So it will reset the password and update the password in CyberArk. Let me check if CPM service is running or not. Yeah, it's running. Let me reconcile it. Started scanner service. It is not needed actually. We need to start the password manager service. I don't think this is the PSM which is working on this. Which CPM is working on it. Let me check that. Password manager. Let me check the full name. Password manager 1. (146) is the password manager. This CPM only is managing this. Let me restart to expedite this. So here, guys, I have onboarded this testix account for which the password has not been set up. Okay, this is our target IP. So what I'm going to do, we will onboard all the accounts in the CSV file. This is our CSV file. Okay. So we will replace the IP with our IP, whatever the IP we have. So that is 192.168.140.177. Just let me confirm this again. So this is our IP. Okay. And this was the earlier one, which is not correct. So I'm just updating the IP for us. Why it's not getting this? So we have like the reconcile account and the target account are following the same server. Like, so I have updated this particular 177 the IP. Now we have the safe Unix PU1. So instead of that, we have a different safe in our environment. So we'll replace that as well. So let's replace this as well. And this safe is the one that we need to replace. Because everything for us is in the MySafe. Okay. Now these are the accounts, guys, that we have, like operating system, Unix SSH, testnext, test1. So we have till 9. Let me delete this one. The bad part about the Packley is something, it will not validate. Even if I write my name over there in the CSV file, it will simply upload it. It will not validate anything, whether the values you are giving is right or not. It will simply write everything on the vault. So we need to be extra cautious, because if you write something like any kind of invalid value, that might get uploaded as well. Then we have a reconcile account called, this is the reconcile account that it has given, recon new, but that's not our reconcile account. We have a reconcile account called this. Next admin is my reconcile account. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll simply replace it with the reconcile account what I have. So this reconcile account would be linked to all these accounts. Whatever we have, that would be linked to all these accounts. So what I'll do, I'll simply go ahead here. And it has to be replaced by this new reconcile account that what we have. One more thing, guys, you can see this is something that starting with operating system as well. So it would be complete object name. So this is the complete name of our reconcile account. Okay, we'll replace it all. Okay, so we have completed the CSV file. We have the account which is going to be onboarded, the safe in which it will come into the folder, the policy ID, the address, and the reconcile account. We would be linking with it. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll simply save these changes now. So this is the password upload utility. Let me just open it up. Okay, now here if you see here, there are certain things like first and foremost is the vault.ini file where we need to just upload our vault value, the IP of our vault. This is our vault IP. I'll just save the changes here. This is our utility password upload. This is an exe file which will upload that. This is the configuration file. Configuration file, here we have some things that needs to be taken care of. So whatever the hash values are there, these are basically the comments, or as of now, these are basically grayed out. It are not supposed to be in functional mode. If I go down here, so here we need to specify few things. Vault file is basically vault.ini. Cred file is user.ini. Cred file is something in case if it will not prompt me to specify the username and password. I can create a cred file and from there I can run this utility. So I will just hash out this value as well, so we do not encounter any issues, because I want it should prompt me about the username and the password. Then the password file. Password file is password.csv. However, in our case, we would be replacing it with the new password file. That's what we have. I'll copy this file and I'll update the name of this password file. Okay, so this is our password file from where it will pull the values. Whatever the password that we, whatever the account details we have kept in there, it will pull the values. Then if I come down, these are the default things. We will not be changing them. Then this is the error log file, password upload.error. It would be populated once we run this script. It will basically create a error log file. In case if there are errors in the upload, it will upload. It will write in this error log. Error log file is this one, and error log file is this one. Whatever the logs, like this password has been uploaded, this account has been uploaded, this safe has been uploaded, everything would be written on this log file. Update if exists. Let's say if I have an account which I'm going to upload, that account is already existing, but the reconcile account is different. So it will just overwrite the value that I have basically updated in the CSV file. So something which I have, which I do not have existing, or maybe something which I need to update, I can do that with the same script. I don't require any other thing to be there in my system. I can make use of this upload utility. Let's say if I want to update the platform ID of some account, so I can just update it in the CSV file and it would be changed for the mass updates. The stop on error is yes. So whenever the error is encountered, it would be stopping. Create missing folder, no. So this is the default value. We will not change it. Verbose mode is nothing but extra logs that are going to be populated. Debug mode is again the logs. So I'll mark it as yes. So it will just generate more logs. Determine whether commands would be printed in the log file. So whatever the command that it is executing, it will basically nothing but it's more about extended log. So let's better mark it as no here. Let's just save changes. And let's run this file now. So it's command line based utility, guys. You will just need to open file, command as an administrator. Call up this utility through command line. Password upload.exe followed by configuration file conf.ini. What is the name of the enter the name to run the password upload utility? What is the user that we would be running this utility? So by default, it would be administrator. because it has rights to do so. Administrator and the password for that. So template safe is specified in the configuration. Default template has not been specified. Let us check the configuration file again. Okay, that looks okay. Default template safe is equal to default template. So let me comment this section and let's save this thing. Let's run this again. So there is something not correct we have done. Countered use of uninitialized value in string at C user desktop utility exceed 9 line number 946 line 936 to storing password. Something not correctly we have updated here. Let me delete this value as well. There is something that we have not correctly done. Let me check if there is any space in between. It's fine. It's okay. Let us run one more time here. And one more change I will perform after that, I will make it running even after the error is encountered. So it doesn't stop at all. So let me make the changes here. So whatever the right entries we have, that will stay running. Okay, I got the issue now, guys. We are using an older utility here. So I just need to download the 12.2 because the version we are using is 12.2. It won't be supported.